show you, to explain, to introduce more specifically the One Digital Health framework that we have initiated a few years ago and published in the Journal of Medical Internet Research 2.5 years ago with my partners in crime, Oscar Tambouris from the University of Napoli, Catherine Kronacki from HL7, and Anne Moen from University of Oslo. So the important things that I will introduce during this short presentation is that the goal and the objective of One Digital Health is to go over the silos. I will explain more particularly this framework and will introduce you some of our research related to the real world and how we are connected to the One Aquarius project that Maria will introduce later. One important thing also introduced at the beginning of this panel is the importance of data and how we need to be fair. I will introduce also this concept later. And sorry for talking not so easily about the large language models like ChatGPT. But we need also, if we are looking at One Health, at One Digital Health, to think green and to be responsible. So we'll discuss it at the end. So going over the silos, when we started to develop this concept of One Digital Health a few years ago, we were at a conference of the European Federation of Medical Informatics. We are all with a mixed background between computer science, information systems, and medicine, veterinary, biology, or epidemiology. And we understood that we have the One Health concept that I started also to introduce to my students, engineering students at this time, over projects. And like all of us know here, it's very important to understand that in One Health, we try to enhance the collaboration between the health practitioners, the public health workers, the biologists, and the environmentalists as a part of a whole. In digital health, it's a bit more complicated because we have, like I pointed it out with the FME community, a large community involving a large number of profiles and people. So it's very important to understand that when we are looking at digital health, we are trying to integrate digital technologies into living and society aspects. It's not new. The medical informatics field is developing itself for at least the last half century, and we started looking at digital health and One Health to think how we can connect these worlds. So if we are moving at the next step, we started and we developed the One Digital Health framework to try to have this right combination. When we are talking about medical informatics, health informatics, digital health, we are talking anyway about health, but we are mainly focusing on human health. Even we have also veterinary informatics, but no more. One important thing is that when we worked on this concept, we had to face the COVID pandemic also. And with all these different events, we understood that the One Digital Health is the concept that we started to think about is a combination of One Health and digital health as keys of this field, and around them another layer, the perspectives, looking at the individual about his, her health and well-being at the population level and societal level, and about the ecosystem in broadly perspective. The last layer, and the most important one here, is one related to the dimensions, meaning, and I will explain it deeper in the next seconds, we have 5 dimensions. The citizen engagement, the education, we'll go deeper then, the environment, the human and veterinary healthcare, and the healthcare industry. And it's very important to understand that the perspectives and the dimension layers are connected, related to technology ring, meaning that we are educating the individual or monitoring a population or looking at standards for the industry related to population monitoring or individual treatment by looking at computational technologies and so on. So that's what I pointed out now. And the One Digital Health technology ring is the one that we are looking at today more deeply. So when we are looking at these dimensions, when we are looking at the real world here, the education and the citizen science are relatively, from my perspective, is the most important aspect of our model, meaning that we are trying to engage the population, to engage the individual, to understand what's happening in his neighborhood, and that we need also to collect data in a non-intrusive way. Moreover, if we are looking at telemedicine, we need to educate our population to use it, because we have also an environmental impact on this and economical impact. The citizen engagement, which is a kind of result of the citizen science, has for goal to create opportunities for the One Digital Health, meaning that when we are trying to engage people in a vaccination process, we are trying to communicate them that it's for their well-being, for a better health, and for protecting their loved ones. Also, communicating data about local pollution on a system, it's important. And we have a lot of systems existing in this field. The human and veterinary healthcare is today going over the silos. We are not more paternalist, meaning that the MDs are not the center of the medical system. We are trying to be patient-centered, meaning that the citizen, the patients, are a part of the monitoring of their own health or their family health, but also are, because they are sharing their own data, they are protecting the community. And this is taking us forward with the public health informatics, also involving here the animal and health data if we are looking at all the food security processes. The healthcare digital transformation related to the industry is critical because, and we will discuss it next, it's very important to be able to share data, to use in the same way the same data, and to be able also to store them with the same common structure. And the environment, or the digital environment, which is what we call also the environmental digitalities, looks at the nature conservation, the digital nature conversation. We have a lot of applications today, apps allowing us to take a picture, a photo of something in during a trek in forest, for example, and to monitor it or to report about a particular event. Globally, if we are looking at the digital environment and not only monitoring the nature, or the Internet of Medical Things and the applications like our smartwatch allowing us to monitor our health allow us to understand what's really happening here. A smartwatch, for example, allow to monitor stress that can be induced by some environmental events. It can be a water pollution or noise. So now, if I'm looking at this dimension, integrating them, we have globally in the real world and in the practice two kind of actors. We have the real world, the human actors, the patients, the policymakers, the industrial and the startup community developing products. And these products are and must be profitable to the community only if they are using some guidelines, answering to a kind of governance. And I hope that's, yeah. And so it's the next step. And when we are looking at this, the combination of the actors and the products, we have some real world interventions applications with the One Aquarius project, which will be presented next, but that encourage us to develop an interoperability approach to share data, to share information in the most efficient way around Europe in this case. So the one digital health intervention, like we discussed about the application, for example, with the One Aquarius, is a result of the sustainable development goals of the WHO. And one of them is the adoption of interoperable digital technologies for clinical and public health. And so the One Digital Health interventions are designed in the framework and now in the real world to support specific initiatives addressing the human, animal, and environmental needs and challenges, to assess the systems, to understand the outcomes, to evaluate the unexpected outcomes, or what I want to call also as the one coming from artificial intelligence, the surprising effect, what we was not expected to be discovered. And these interventions also encourage us and also stimulate us to define a right set of metrics supporting the processes to develop a multi-criteria or a set of multi-criteria decision analysis and decision tools. So the digitalities, and I will spin now.
Arriel, when you can wrap up if you can in the next minutes, because
I need no more of 2.5.
Thank you.
So the digitalities that I discussed about is the digital humanities, all what's related to humans, to animals, with the digital humanities and the digital environmentalities. And with One Digital Health, we are searching for the One Digital Healthness, or the ODHness, allowing us to search the right center of mass, the equilibrium between these three digitalities. An example of intervention that we published in Jmeer Medical Informatics relates to a woman and her dog in a big city and how they are interacting around the clock. I invite you to look at this paper. And this research encouraged us to think out of the box for how we can look at One Digital Health in normal time and in emergency time also. And if we are looking at all these interventions, we are collecting data. We are collecting data, but we need them responding to the FAIR principles, meaning that we need also to have all this data findable, accessible, and interoperable and reusable in other research, for example. And that's exactly what I wanted to show you now to conclude. We need findable data. We need to collect data and to be able to store them in a place allowing interconnection with other systems. Accessible because we need to work with open science when we are talking about One Health and digital health. Interoperable from the digital health perspective, because we want to be able to communicate between our different communities, different countries, different healthcare systems or environmental communities, monitoring communities. Reusable because it's science, and we are not using data only for one research, but over time. And to conclude, and that my point here, I'm coming from medical informatics, digital health, and on November 3 each year, we are celebrating the One Health Day. But we have a huge issue here. We want data, and we need to be responsible there. Because when we are talking about collecting data, we are talking about using environmental resources to produce energy. When we are using ChatGPT, for example, or other kinds of large language models, we are using energy. And we cannot make One Health, digital health, or more One Digital Health possible if we are not sustainable at the long term. Here you have a list of the papers that we submitted, published during the last years about One Digital Health, and later I will be open to your questions. Sorry for taking a bit more time.
Thank you very much. Applause for him. Arriel, just in case you cannot stay longer, we hope yes, but we'll make a final then discussion. But just anybody has a quick question for him? If not, we will wait at the end. Just one, please. Can you have the micro? Sorry about that. What's the micro? Thank you, Arriel.
I cannot hear.
Sorry. Yes. Thank you for very interesting and wide information that you have given us on digital health. I want to ask you one problem, because in Italy, for example, for to connect human data, health data, and animal data, and environmental data, in the National Health Agency, or Environmental Research Agency, or Zooprophylactic Institute, and so on, we have few persons for to do the digitalization of data, and these few persons often have not the knowledge to work on this. I don't know in the other country, but I think the same in most of the countries. So I want to ask you if you have an idea how we have to do to overcome this problem, and to finally have this great opportunity to make together data to evaluate on time all the needs of the population, the health needs, and the other needs for to have a good and very finalized intervention on environment and on animal and plant health. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for this very interesting and complicated question. It's more a question for politicians or for decision makers. But globally, then from my perspective, and regarding also the ODH core team, you need medical informaticists. I know that in some countries, this specialty is not sufficiently developed. I know that in Italy, you have the Italian Society for Medical Informatics, which can be a good spot to contact and to know how to work with, because when we are looking at medical data, and here I'm talking about human data, veterinary data, and also environmental data from the public health perspective, you have the medical informatics communities, digital health communities that's working on for a while. It's a residency specialty in France. It's for example, or in other European countries, it's also a subspecialty of public health, not only for MDs, and you have a lot of master degrees and PhDs allowing to train professionals in this field. So I think that the solution is meant to look at this small community or established community of medical informaticists, and to check with how the professionals can be trained or can be assisted by this kind of professionals. I hope that I answered you here.
Thank you.
Also looking at the regulation issues.
Yeah, thank you, Arriel. Thank you for the question. Obviously, this question of politicians, especially the budget, no, only 1.2 of the healthcare budget is for IT. So that is it's a problem, no? But thank you, Arriel, for the conference and for the question. We go quickly on with Maria. Maria is the principal investigator of the University of Coimbra. Maria, you have